This is the next part, upgrade to perfect on this 2005 Holiday Rambler. One thing I got to show you on here is what you need to do if you're pulling a trailer with these motorhomes. This particular motorhome, when I got it, the hitch is sticking out approximately 10 inches away. When I first got the unit, the end of the hitch was probably back inside there about that same 10 inches. And then what happens is every time that somebody backs up and hooks on there, when I first got this unit, this whole thing was smashed from hitting that with the hitch. But more importantly, this receiver needs to come out this direction just so you have more turning clearance on there so that the corners of your trailer aren't hitting the corner, which these corners were also dinged up on here when I got the unit. And what I did to upgrade this is, like I said, I extended the receiver, but in doing so, you just can't extend that. There's a whole lot else that has to happen. I had to run additional supports back to the frame on each side to hold this cross tube on here to support the hitch. And as long as I was doing that, put a little more guarding in here, put a stainless steel pipe on here with some stainless steel rods. That's just going to protect the back end of this unit from when you're hooking up, so nothing gets dinged up. Now to show you the inside portion of this hitch assembly here, it needs a little help. So here's the receiver tube that goes out the back and goes all the way there. But the way they have this set up is they actually have the motor mount, the main motor mount, sitting on top of the hitch tube. Not quite sure why they'd want to do that. Seems like there might be a little extra flex and torque. So originally when I got this, there is not much holding it. It's just that little piece of quarter-inch material coming down there on each side and a cross tube. That's what's holding the hitch and the motor in place on here. So you dare not do any serious tugging or pulling with any trailers with these units. They're just not made for it. So don't do it. So what I did on here is I put some additional tubes, 2x2 by quarter, all the way from the main frame all the way up on each side. And like I said, those come out, those connect up to here. To tie this all together is one integral part. But the main thing I did, let me get you around the side. I'm going to show you what. So for frame reinforcement on here, I'll show you what I did to beef this up a little bit. I've got the receiver hitch is connected to the cross tube here. I've got additional supports that are connecting right here. This is 2x2 by quarter. That ties all the way back into the original hitch and frame to help support that. But now we need to support this side here, because currently all that's on here is there's a piece of quarter-inch plate. The plate on here is only about 8 inches wide, and that is what is supporting the motor, and it's supporting the hitch. And if you're going in a straight line, it'll probably work, but as soon as you put any side load on that hitch, you could flex this plate right here, and then in turn that's going to flex your motor. So whatever you do with the hitch, it's going to affect your motor the way it's sitting there. So what I did is I took a piece of 3x2 by quarter-inch tubing, 7 feet long, and I ran it all the way from the hitch, the factory hitch right here, all the way down, and I tied into the jack assembly that they have up in there. And that assembly, that's all bolted in to the side of the frame with 4 hardened bolts. So that's tied in, and that's part where it's back onto the double frame. as you can see in here, it's double frame from here to the front of the coach, but from the back of the coach, this is only just a single frame, and that's what everything is hanging on. So by the back of this tube going all the way to the double frame, and then also what I need to do is I trussed it between here and here so that this is all tied together. And this is just going to help possibly eliminate any future problems of twisting the back of these coaches. So my recommendation is do not do any heavy pulling of anything with these coaches until you take a look at the frame. And in this case here, it had to be reinforced. There's absolutely no way I was going to take this down the road and end up torquing or bending the frame that they have there now. So that's what we got going on right now. Is Taz is coming out here to help me. Well, one other thing I got to show you on this upgrade here is the engine beta lights. So what I have is I've got a little toggle switch right here. You can just literally stick your fingers through the hole right here, flip the switch, and that way you can see what's going on in your engine bay when you got to do an inspection there. You're not going to see anything from the back side here because the radiator and the intercooler is here, but you've got two lights right here that you can check your oil, you can check your coolant, and you can see what else you have going on here. And then I've got 4 LED strips down in the bay right inside there, and those LED strips, those really light it up at night. And when you pop the hood on the inside in the back bedroom there, you can see what's going. So lights are important, especially when you're doing a little traveling at night. And also what I did on here, I will take you around the side and show you, is access to the motor bay on here, engine bay. Now typically when you get these units, you have absolutely no access to the bottom side or to get to the sides of the motor on here. Well, one of the first things I did when I got this unit is this particular bay right here. There was a floor in there, and there was all kinds of cross tubing in there. Well, the first day I got it, before I crawled under there, I took and I went in there with the saw, and I just started cutting everything out of the middle there. So now what you can do is you can actually crawl down in here, and I moved the exhaust hangers so you can come in here and you can sit and you can get at the entire side of this motor. You can work on the turbo, you can work on the alternator, all from down here, as compared to, oh, there's Taz, he's coming to get me here. And also the exhaust system, and all because I did what they didn't do at the factory, and that is set up a, give you access to these motors. So I got that set up, and if I've got long-term projects underneath here, I made this cross tube right here, all the way to here, removable. So I simply I got a nut welded in there, I take a bolt out, one bolt out here, I take one bolt out here, this whole cross tube comes out of here, and I've got the air cleaner set up on a track on the top, so I can take out 4 bolts and 1 clamp, and I can get this air cleaner out of my way, and I have full access to the side of the motor, which I will guarantee you there's very few people that can say that with that have diesel pushers. And it didn't take that much, and I wish they would have taken a little more thought when they built these coaches to allow for the next guy to work on it. So I will show you a little bit more about what I've done in here with some of the other items. But one thing is, I'll catch up later with this this air cleaner system here and what I did with the exhaust system on there. But that'll be future parts down the road. But for right now, I just wanted to show you the my lights that up on top there and how much this lights up the place for you. So talk to you guys later. Well, here's my safety tip for the day here. Make sure you got a jack stand underneath these units when you're working on them. Just don't rely totally on the levelers for the motor coach. And one other thing you need to do when you're using these levelers is you need to put a double set of blocks anytime that you're lifting these up, especially on a hard surface. Because what happens is, if you just lift up on a solid surface, there's no room for this whole cylinder here to give when this is lifting up and going forward or backwards. So I always double block it so that when this lifts up, this top block can slide on the bottom block and it doesn't put any extra side load on your ram there. So anytime you're setting these up, even when you're out camping, if you got the opportunity, always double block it to give that area some room to give in there. So that's just my tip for the day here, and they're going up. Talk to you guys later. Well, thank you for sticking with me on part upgrade to perfect of this 2005 Holiday Rambler. We're working on some hitch upgrades, some frame reinforcement, engine bay lights, engine access, and we threw in a safety tip on there. So once again, thank you for watching. There's quite a few more parts to come on here. We'll talk to you guys later. Thank you. Thank you for watching Alan's Day. Life is about making choices. Some things are already perfect. Some things you may choose to upgrade. This channel will show you both. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks again.